The natural hair movement began in the United States in the 1960s. During this time, Black Americans were learning to embrace their roots and especially their hair. Now, the movement has advanced even further, with Black people learning more and more about their hair. From hair types to hairstyles, let's take a look into some people from the Black community in Brooklyn, New York, and their opinions on Black hair.
My name is Allison Duff Baje. I was born in Georgetown, Guyana, but I've been here for, I guess, I would say 46 years in the United States, in New York City.
What borough?
Brooklyn, Flatbush, Brooklyn. I like hair. I actually like looking at people doing hair. I've always, it's funny, I was explaining this to my class the other day. We were talking about, ourselves. I've always played with hair. I've always liked seeing different hairstyles. And what I'm saying, I'm talking about more black hair, African hair, like my hair, because I don't know much about straight hair. But dolls, that doll could be missing an arm or a leg or whatever, as long as it had hair to braid, people would come to me to braid their hair. My uncle, at the time in the 70s, when I started braiding, I was little, he would come and ask me to braid his hair and tuck it in so that he could pick out and have his nice afro when he was going out to parties and so on. And then somehow I fell into braiding my friend's hair in New York as a teenager, and I was one of the children that they would come to, friends that would come to get their hair done, and like to play in my own hair too. When I'm doing hair for people that I'm close to, they sit between you. You sit in the chair and they sit down on the floor between you, and it's a bonding, comforting kind of thing to have somebody in your hair and you tending to somebody else's hair, and that's just how most of the time when it's somebody that I'm close to, they're sitting on the floor or something like that, and I'm sitting in a comfortable chair, and it's just something that we're doing. I love the texture of my hair, but it depends on the length that it is. If it's very short, I love how it rolls in my hand. And even when it's not short, when I touch like close to the root or so, there's something about the way hair feels. I was a child who had two fingers in her mouth a lot, sucking my finger. And one thing that was pleasurable was having your finger in your mouth and touching the rolls and so on. And in the hair, I love that. I don't know why or where it came from or why kids do that, but that was a part of it. I feel at this age, I feel most comfortable with it short. I can get it when it's nicely groomed and shaped up and faded, and then I can roll. I use gels and so on. It rolls up. I really, really like that. That makes me feel more like me right now. We have black hair. Black people change their hairstyles all the time. Sometimes it looks long because we put braids in. Sometimes it looks short because we cut it, or we take out the braids even. So people would think that I was doing something different with the hair, or.
My name is Adina Rosalie Baptiste, and I am from Brooklyn, New York. I have a love-hate relationship with my hair, I would say, because ever since I was little, I have always never fully liked my hair, because it wasn't what was portrayed as pretty to me, especially in elementary school and middle school, where straight hair, long hair was the way to go. And my hair is not straight, my hair is not long, and it is not easy. I think it's amazing. I feel like there are a lot of, there's a big span of like what like different natural hairs, and I think that's really important to see, especially with someone with like 4C and like kind of short hair that I do. It's good to see people with hair like mine, and to know that I'm not alone, you know, and to know that they also had these struggles of feeling like the outcast with their hair and stuff like that.
Turning on CNN and seeing some of those young female reporters with kinky hair, short hair, styled beautifully. Sometimes it's longer, but it's the texture they were born with, or even if it wasn't that, it might be a wig or whatever, but it has that texture. You didn't see that before.
But I think it's a really amazing movement, especially when it started in the 60s, 1960s, with Black is Beautiful and starting to embrace our hair and everything. I think it was an amazing movement. Growing up, the black girl in the black girl and everything, or the black person and everything, was usually light skinned with 3C hair, and that was their diversity. It wasn't really diverse. Like, it was diversity, but it was acceptable curliness.
Little black girls and little black boys need to see themselves represented in commercials, on television, their hair type looking like it's okay. They need to see that regularly, not sprinkled in regularly. I think that's important.
I wish they knew that it was a part of us and not just hair, because when people think about our hair, and like when people like white people have locks or they have braids and stuff like that, they say, oh, it's just hair, it's not that serious. But African American hair has always been one of the most important parts to us, other than our skin color. Because of its diversity and what we can do with it. And I want them to understand that it's not just hair. It's heritage, it's the soul, it's our ancestors in a way. Because that's how we were acknowledged by our hair. In like Africa, they would braid their hair a certain way, take hours upon hours to show social class and stuff like that, and show spirituality in their braids. And that's why we spend so much time on our hair with wigs and braids and stuff like that. And I want them to understand that it's not just hair. They judge. People judge. They look at it as unkempt, and I'm not really sure why, because that's just the way my hair is. My hair sticks up, my hair defies gravity. Just because theirs doesn't mean that it's not professional. You may see the white girls in the school with their pretty hair and their long straight hair, and you may see it in the magazines, and you may get made fun of for your hair. Be like, why does it look like that? Why does it do that? But always know that you are beautiful. Black is beautiful. Your hair is beautiful. And you will grow to love it one day. As you grow, you fall down and you get back up. My hair has shown that in a way, because it's broken when I've been depressed. It's grown when I've been happy and healthy. It's growth. As you go through life, you fall down, you get back up. You get cut short, you get back up.
I try to make sure that my children understood that it was okay for them to have their hair be any texture that they wanted it to be. The way your hair grows out of your own head is good enough as well too. You can style it as well however you wish also. You don't have to have it straight in order for it to look good.
Love your hair, love your heritage, love your past. Understand, have a connection. It makes you have a connection with our ancestors and our grandmother and all of our past. All of our, everything that has happened, everything that we do is through our hair.
Our hair's our crown.
Period.